Mr. Nomado also indicated the photos are in excess of 5,000 photos. I think he's mixing the photos. The 5,000 plus photos that for accused number 2. With accused number 3, it was plus minus 700 photos. And then I submitted a lot before this court. These photos are voluminous, and it was only then when Advocate MNISI requested a postponement to prepare cross-examination of accused number 2, that the state as well as the investigating team were able to sit down, go through those photos one by one. It was not a very easy process, my lord. It took some time for it to be. So it's not correct that we said with the evidence. The evidence was discovered to the defense. After the 1st of August 2023, after the evidence of Sergeant Mabasa, all the photos were given to the defense, and the defense are in possession. Even that specific photo that is a subject matter before this court.
We're completing that on the 1st of August 2023. The photos were in existence already.
They were in existence. Just that
where were they procurable?
My lord, I remember that during that period that we have to adjourn, went to our offices, we sat down with Sergeant Mabasa, and then we went through those photos, and certain additional photos were also selected. And we further discovered the whole bundle USBs that Sergeant Mabasa copied and handed each and every defense counsel. And amongst the photos that we handed in is the photos that we introduced or last week through Sergeant Mabasa. So the photo has always been there.
Okay, fine. The misnomer. But the pertinent question is, the state was not aware of this evidence before the 1st of August 2023?
No, my lord, we're not aware of this specific photo they pulled to.
And that particular photo was not self-standing. You understand what I'm saying? No, it's self-standing like this. And
it's part of a bundle, my lord.
Yeah, it wasn't self-standing. Let's assume this video like so.
Yes.
It was part of the bundle.
Let me understand the court. The photos that you were provided were in PDF document.
And then we downloaded it.
Yes.
And then Mabasa said the pigmentation of the photo wasn't bright.
Yes.
That's why you can use software
to just add lights.
Listen.
That's correct.
But what's intriguing, if they were not visible to the naked eye after being downloaded from the
SD card
device here,
yes,
they were not visible. This, let me say they were not. This one was not visible.
My lord, let me explain to you. No, I'm not running away from the court's question. I'm saying, my lord.
Was it visible to the naked eye, or was it not visible to the naked eye?
It was visible on the naked eye when we went through the photos one by one.
Yes.
Yes. If you scroll through the photos,
yeah,
you won't be able to pick it up.
Yes.
But if you then sit down, take your time, and then you zoom in and out, then you need to pick it up. But if you're going to rush into looking into the photo, then you will be able to. And I can also mention, my lord, from the photos that I've personally went through of accused number 3, I think that is the only, if not, I'm under correction, my lord. Okay, I just had my colleagues. Let me just start it here, my lord. wanted to make another submission, but take it up during.
Maybe.
I'll be accused of testifying.
I'm still going to maybe ask questions regarding your answers.
I'm saying it's one of the few photos that one can see the accused person smiling. From the ones that I've seen personally, out of the 700 photos, I cannot recall them, but it's one of them that stood out from that particular photo. It's good to see. And it has to be enhanced now. It's something it has to be enhanced. And it was not a one-day process. I have to do at some stage, look into the photo and then go home, come back tomorrow, print, look into it, then
this is a proper question. Does the accused have the mechanism and the means and the equipment to enhance the photos? Talking about the accused.
No, the accused does not have that.
And without any technical assistance, you will never get. I'm speaking like it is not represented. You will never get the photograph to come to this perfection. So expertise.
I'm not sure.
You don't understand it.
I understand what they call it. What they call it saying.
Yeah.
Just that I do not know his level of understanding.
Yes. It's not at the level of analysis.
But I can also do that, my lord. But I'm not an analyst.
Yeah, but I just want to hear through.
If he can have a laptop and then the photograph, surely he can zoom in and out because the function that is readily available on PDF as well. If he does not have that, that's why we prepared that document where it's zoomed in.
I received this 3 months before he testifies against a witness who alludes to the existence of this photo.
Our point of departure, my lord, is the question whether he had a gold tooth or not is something that falls within his personal knowledge. If he sees it and he says, I never had a gold tooth, I think for me that is enough. Then the cross-examination of this witness can proceed, and then it can be put to my pastor that you edited this photo, you manipulated this photo. I never had a gold tooth. You don't have to go to a dentist to confirm whether you had it or not. It's something that falls within his personal knowledge. And that won't change.
But what does the fact that this council says in about could consult with this client because he said he wants a dentist for the professional to give an opinion.
My lord, by all means, you can go and get an opinion. Yes, but the witness that you are dealing with, the one that is on his stand is Sergeant Mabas, an analyst. It won't change the fact that accused never had a good tooth. Then that will be the second part of his right to give and to adduce and challenge evidence. We will have already challenged Mabasa on his findings, and then later on, during his case, he can adduce a report, which is perfectly allowed. But it would be unfair for him to first determine the wind, the direction of the wind, so that he can make up his mind. It would be unfair for the witness, it would be unfair to the state. And furthermore, what is important, a court asked few interesting questions to the other witness, our warrant officer, regarding his observations. To say, do you use spectacles? Are you able to see them? And I think that deals with the issues of observation. And that's what Mabasa is also here to testify about. What Tabang Makele saw on the 26th of October is also observation.
Mr. Sibanda says that they had to go for more than 5,700 photos, madam. that is not entirely correct, Malot. Look, we are here on the case of accused number 3. There are 700 photos that they had to go through. 700 photos that they had to go through in respect of accused number 3. And out of those 700 photos, there are photos that are women photos, children photos, church photos, firearm photos, car photos, and all those photos which have got nothing to do with accused number 3's teeth. There are very few photos that are contained in those 700 photos that would denote accused number 3's dental formula. So it's not like the state had to take for more than 5 years only to identify 1, 2, 3, or even 4 photos where accused number 3 dental formula is visible for them to come to a conclusion that as and when he allegedly was part of the commission of the offense, he had a dental formula. I think that is a gross misrepresentation of facts, my lord. They are just trying very hard to give a reason as to why, up until the testimony of Warrant Officer Mabaso, we were not apprised of the fact that his evidence would be to demonstrate that Warrant Officer Mabaso had a golden tooth at the time.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are around the world, family. This is Zebra Family Channel. Family, today, let's talk about Dr. Sibanda, who was struggling to answer questions from the judge. Because at some point when you lie, you struggle to answer questions because you have to think about, hey, what if I said this before, now I'm changing or whatever. So you have this kind of struggle all the time that I feel like I'm not correct by saying this, but at the same time, you're contemplating to yourself that maybe it's the right answer. So you start to stumble because you just want to know to yourself, your mind is contemplating as if, am I in the right track? Am I going to say the right thing? So Sibanda has been asked by the judge simple questions about the photos. Before he was being asked, he just came up and talked about the 700 photos for accused number 3. Okay, with the 700 photos, we know it's not only his photos, but there were different kind of photos that were in his phone of sisters, family, friends, and all these kind of things, cars and other things. Very few photos that had his face smiling, whereby they picked on that he had a gold tooth. So this is a big problem for them because when you don't know what to say in court, you fabricated something. You just don't want to put yourself in a problem because if you lie under oath, it becomes a problem. So Sibanda was trying to control everything, but rather keep on pressing on him to understand as to when he started to realize these photos, how long he's been having these photos, that he only realized that he had to really take a good glance on the pictures when MNISI was studying the documents for accused number 1 as he was going to represent accused number 1. So during that break, when he was studying those documents, then it's when Sibanda is saying it's when he realized that he has to study those photos and he called Mabaso. They were studying with Mabaso the photos. That is where you realize, because when you remember very well, Ndlovu said very well, loud and clear in court when he was pressed by Mshololo in the corner and say, can you please explain to us, is it possible to edit pictures? And Ndlovu, not aware that this answer will come up at the end of the day and destroy the same case. He said honestly that yes, you can edit photo and I know how to do it myself. That is what Ndlovu said in front of the judge and in front of the court as he was testifying there. That was Warrant Ndlovu. So now coming to this police Mabaso, doing this kind of a thing with Dr. Sibanda. Now Sibanda, as he's contemplating, because he has to think about what Mabaso is going to say when he testify, then what he is saying now as a prosecutor, as being asked by the judge rather. So it becomes a problem. So family, what do you think? And MNISI came up and exposed that as well, because when MNISI had to stand up for accused number 3 and said no, he tried to address the judge and tell the judge, no, this is not true. The 700 prior photos that were there, it was not only photos for accused number 3's face. There were a lot of different kind of photos in those 700 photos. So for Dr. Sibanda to act as if all these pictures that were there were of accused number 3, it was just a lie. He tried to expose that in front of the judge. That was really powerful of MNISI doing that. As we know, MNISI, at times, he can let you just put yourself in a big bin, then at the end, he will close you in that bin and just make you lie there forever. That is MNISI Wemvula for us. So, family, what do you think about this lies from Dr. Sibanda, who was really struggling to answer a simple question? And for them to push for MNISI to cross-examine Mabaso before even getting this doctor's results as to whether this guy did have a gold tooth. It was kind of crazy because the way they were pushing, it was like, this must happen. Let's not let them go. But I'm still coming to with another video for what I have realized with this lies that has been now that we have the results, how the results came about. I will make a video about that and I will drop it in as soon as possible because we know what was the agreement there. They were supposed to come today in court and MNISI was supposed to come and give the quotation that this is how much it's going to cost accused number 3 if he goes to a special dentist. So now that was a private or special dentist, whatever it might be. So today, but we have results. Who did the results? There's something fishy that is going on. Anyway, I'll make a video about that. Family, let's continue to fight the war. This is really our war that we have to fight it until the end, till the Mayiwa family get closure as to how their son was deleted. As we are putting pressure, they can feel the pressure because they know the nation is watching. And there are some on the social media who are really exposing the shenanigans that are happening in that court. So family, drop your comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bravo, bravo, batulusi, bravo.